Morning, we continue our Decision 2016 coverage with Penny Lee, a Democratic strategist. She joins us now live from Washington, D.C. with more insight into the Clinton campaign. Thanks for joining us. Let's get right to the WikiLeaks emails this week. And how damaging do you think these email releases are to Miss Clinton's campaign?
Well, what we don't know is if they're verified, and what we haven't been able to determine whether or not they have been doctored, whether or not what the source of these came from. So there's been, as we have seen throughout many times with these hacked and with these leaks, they have gone in and manipulated. So there is not an authenticity yet, or it hasn't been authenticated whether or not how true these are. But what we do know is the Russians have systematically wanted to influence, and even from the president, from the FBI and others have said this is a serious problem with the hacking situation. So, we're yet to see whether or not these are actually true emails.
Now, over the last 24 hours or so, there are new claims against Mr. Trump's alleged actions against women. And over the last few weeks, as we all know, people have been calling into question President Bill Clinton's behavior. So do you believe what people are saying is hurting Mrs. Clinton's campaign?
I think it's damaging, very damaging to Donald Trump, because you're taking him from his own words. I mean, what we saw from that video in which he was on the bus using incredibly vulgar, very inappropriate language when it comes to women, those are his own words, and he is the person on the ballot. He is the one standing trial in the court of public opinion on whether or not. And now you have women. In the last 24 hours, you've had 10 different women come out and say what he boasted about on that bus really actually happened. Now, those are only allegations, so we don't know the full truth of those allegations. But what we do know is this is a man who has braggadociously said he has been able to control women, and they had just wanted to flock to him and even, kind of push the envelope and basically said he's groped them. So, these are very damaging for Donald Trump. And as you can see in the latest polls, I mean, his numbers are really suffering because of his own words.
And we have time for just one more question. We're now less than a month away from the election. So are there any states that Mrs. Clinton needs to focus on in these final few days as she pushes toward Election Day?
Well, your state in Ohio is still going to be front and center, and you'll still are going to be seeing a lot of activity there, along with Pennsylvania, Florida, North Carolina. It was interesting, Donald Trump, his campaign just pulled all their advertising out of Virginia, which has always been seen more as a swing state, and now it looks solidly red. Might help that Tim Kaine is on the ballot there. So, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Florida, North Carolina, New Hampshire, all key states.